Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Sage Goddess Mother's Day ceremony. This is just a brief ceremony to connect us all with the energy of the Mother and to remind us of our place and our space and how it is that we arrived here. If you're a mother of a human baby or a fur baby, maybe you're an amazing auntie or godmother. Maybe you're one of those people, I have them in my life, who shows up as a mother to someone, even if you're not their mother, and offers them that unconditional love. No matter how it is that you manifest maternal energy, or whether you're not a mother, but you arrived via a mother onto this planet, today is a day to celebrate. And I also like to think, and I'm going to urge you to consider this as well, that we all have a collective mother. You know, we all have an individual mother that connects us to the matrilineal, to our mother line. And that's super sacred and beautiful and worthy of celebration. And I know some of you have not had the easiest relationship with your mothers. I know some of you have lost your mothers. I'm very sensitive to that, and I want to tell you that I see you today too. This is not an easy day for some people. And so especially for you, especially if you had a challenging relationship with your mom or have lost your mom or didn't know your mom, then what I'm about to say may have even more resonance for you because it's a different way of looking at this day and still being able to celebrate its beauty. And that is to our collective mother, our Mother Earth, our Madre Tierra, our Pachamama. And those are all different names for the same energy, which is that we are held by a beautiful planet that provides for us. My birds are singing to you. I don't know if you can hear them. She provides for us. I was just out in my garden and I was noticing my artichokes are starting to come and the orange blossoms are slowly but surely turning into the fruit they will become. And everything is looking lush and beautiful, and the herbs are flowering, and everything is coming alive, right? And so today I want to take you through just a brief ceremony. If you purchased the Madre Tierra tools at sagegoddess.com, those are what I'm going to be working with, which is the Pachamama candle, the beautiful multi-layer beeswax candle that we wrapped for this kit, and then Madre Tierra perfume, which is one of my favorites of all time. That's a blend of vetiver, which is really good for grounding and protecting you, and then turmeric, which is a powerful antioxidant for healing the body. Patchouli, which is a warming, nurturing blend that brings you abundance and prosperity, which is a gift of the mother. Tobacco Absolute, which is a sacred offering to our earth, to the goddess. Lavender Absolute, which is the really dark green, really primal first press of the lavender plant. It's the purest lavender you can get. And interestingly enough, lavender essential oil is clear, but Lavender Absolute is a very dark green. It's a very different material. It even has a different smell. You know how lavender is very sharp? Lavender Absolute has a roundness, a fullness to it. And then we have a special essential oil in the blend, which is designed to connect you with the energy of unconditional love, called Catrify. And so this blend this year is all about protection and healing, inspiration and wisdom, confidence and strength, a sense of calming and balancing and healing that comes from the regeneration of your faith and the regeneration of your body. And all of that is in there. And so I'm going to begin by lighting the beautiful white sage bundle that came with your kit. And if you have your kit, you can light your white sage with me. If you don't have your kit, it's okay. You can light whatever herbs and resins you're working with today. I'm going to place it into my abalone shell, and then I'm offering a little bit of that to you today. Letting the smoke wash over the perfume and the candle. And just taking a breath here. Being fully present for the energy of this experience that we're going to share for these few minutes. And for me, one of the things I've learned being a mother, I've been a mother now for 14 years, is that the most important parts of mothering are subtle. It's the presence, my physical presence. It's the sense of care and consideration and the looking after. That matters more than almost anything else that I do, right? It's the consistency in the presence, in the care, in the kindness, in the consideration. It's the anticipation of needs, right? I can even see it in my kids as they're getting older. When I anticipate their need, so they don't have to come and say, hey, I'm hungry. They come in the kitchen, I'm already cooking, and it's like, oh, phew, I was hungry, There's something about the meeting of the need before it's expressed that feels like is received like unconditional love, right? Somebody's thinking ahead about what you're going to need, and they're meeting that need before you express it. And I've learned that what a powerful gift that is that I can give, and I'm making a conscious effort to give it in other parts of my life too, in my friendships, in my intimate relationship with my husband, in my relationships with my family, thinking about what will they need, not what do they need, what will they need, and is there a way that I can anticipate that need and meet it before they ask? Because the feminine, the energy of the mother is intuitive, right? We sort of know what needs to happen. Like when I walk into a room, nobody needs to tell me what to do, right? I can look around and say, okay, I should probably clean that up. I should probably prepare this. I could go and grab that, right? And that's one of the ways in which mothering is this intuitive process of anticipating need. The other side of mothering, and what I've learned well, especially in the last few years, is to also make sure I'm meeting my own needs, anticipating my own needs, offering that same presence and unconditional love to myself. Also offering that to my planet, right? Tending to anticipating needs of noticing where nature herself, every mother still needs to be mothered, right, in her own way. And that's how we keep the relationship functional. If the mother is just pouring out to everybody but has nothing coming back to her, then her well runs dry. And that's where we see sort of the shadow side of mothering sometimes, right, where there's a sense of resentment. I'm giving all of this, but I'm not getting anything back in return. And so I think it's incumbent upon us who do mothering in the million different ways that we do it. I mean, I even feel sometimes like a mother in my community, right? I mean, I try to keep it a functional mothering relationship, but there's still a sense of wanting to anticipate needs, wanting to nurture, wanting to provide a big round container for people to find themselves in, right? But I also have to make sure I'm filling my own well. We can't pour from an empty chalice. So that's why I want to really open this conversation and widen the aperture here, because Mother's Day for me is not just about, oh, you have a human child, let's celebrate you. You might be a mother to this planet. You might be someone who protects forests and does land conservation. You might be someone who owns a nursery or who helps to build sacred spaces and design. We have someone here in the city I live in whose sole job is to work on undeveloped public spaces and make them beautiful. And that's also a way of mothering, don't you think? So my definition is very expansive, and it includes you. Because if you're listening to this, I bet you, in some ways, big and small, you bring that magic and that beauty to this planet, and I'm grateful that you do. Because even if I don't receive it directly, I benefit from it indirectly. Every time we express unconditional love, it's a gift that we give to everyone on this planet. And I'll tell you, if your heart is hurting and you could use some mothering, I have some space in my heart for you today. And I hope that this this little ceremony is a blessing for you too, as I see you. We never lose that need for unconditional love. In fact, the older I get, I think that need becomes more pronounced. The good news is, as we get older, we can start to offer that truly unconditional love to ourselves and fill in a lot of the gaps in what may have been missed for us. Because even with the best intentions, I've never met a perfect parent. But I've met some amazing people who are doing the best they can with what they have, where they are from their level of conscious awareness, and that's all we can ask, you know? So I'm going to light my candle. I'm going to invite you to do that too. I'm going to read you the invocation that's on the candle. It says, as I light this candle, I pause and bow in deep reverence to you, O Mother. You nourish me, heart, body, and soul. You ignite in me the will and desire to grow. You show me, you show us all, what it means to be loyal and unceasing in our love. Thank you for being my first home, the place I return to in storm and sunshine. Thank you for reminding us all what it means to truly live and be unconditional. Amen. Aho. And so it is. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? So this ceremony is more just a brief guided meditation without the drumming and the bowls and all of that. It's really just a chance to be in the space of stillness and reflection and gratitude, and to honor the ways in which you both mother, in all the definitional ways we can do that, and the ways in which you still need to be loved unconditionally. And my wish for you is that all your needs are met in perfect ways and perfect time. Truly. And so I'm going to anoint with our Madre Tierra perfume, placing just a little bit at my wrists for what I do. Just a little bit at my third eye for what I know. There's something about tobacco and turmeric and patchouli. It's like, it takes us back to the roots. Vetiver, which is very forward in this perfume. And vetiver, of course, the essential oil comes from the root. It doesn't come from the leaves of the plant. It creates its own cycle. In order to harvest, in order to produce vetiver oil, we have to take the root of the plant, which kills it, right? So we create this new cycle of life, but then you leave part of the plant to continue to grow, and the next year you take part of the root, but you leave the next part of the plant that grows, and the next year you take part of the root. And so it's like this self-perpetuating cycle of life and death that in so many ways is part of the miracle of life, right? We wouldn't really appreciate life the way we do if it went on forever. Part of what leads us to this grand appreciation of life is the nature of it as a cycle, right? So I want you to roll your shoulders back. Imagine I'm there, rubbing them a little bit, loosening you up. Turn your head from side to side. Roll it around in some half moons, back and forth, from your left shoulder to your right shoulder and back. Set the intention to lengthen your spine so you sit up nice and straight. And I want you to begin to bring your attention to the energy of creation, the energy of life. And that may look like bringing your attention to a beautiful tree that's growing, bringing your attention to a child that you have grown or are growing. bringing your attention to a plant or to one of your crystals, which also grew within our beautiful Gaia. And the energy for today is reverence and gratitude. Reverence and gratitude. The word awe for me comes to mind when I think of Mother's Day. I'm in awe of the human capacity to create life. I think it's sacred and beautiful. But I'm also in awe of nature's capacity to regenerate and to expand. And I'm also in awe of nature's capacity to do this in every color of the spectrum, in every country and on every continent, despite every kind of force that can be placed upon it, like weather events and everything else. And yet she rises, right? And so I want you to take a moment to think about what that means for your own capacity to rise, your own capacity to grow and to create. And I want you to bring your attention now to your solar plexus, which is right above your belly button. And then drop your attention down to your sacral chakra, which sits between your ovaries and your testes. Again, just with an energy of gratitude, just noticing, sending love, sending appreciation. And then I want you to bring your attention to your root chakra, which is a direct line down from the sacral chakra. It sits right at your perineum. And if you're seated right now, you can feel that connection to the floor, to the earth, to the chair that you're seated in. If you're laying down, just make an effort to tighten up the space of your lower back and connect that lower back to the floor. I want you to imagine that extending from your root chakra down into the earth is the most beautiful, wild tangle of roots. Roots that extend from you and connect down through the layers of time and soil and rock of our planet. Imagine that those roots now come to life and they begin to extend themselves down through layers of time beneath your feet. And watch those roots as they tangle around the rocks and the crystals and the minerals as they descend down toward the very center of our planet. And let them wind down and wind down and wind down. And as they do, tethering you to the core of all that is, all that was, all that will ever be. And knowing, coming to a deep and abiding knowing that this is a connection that can never be broken in your life. No one can take this from you. This connection to all that is. It's your birthright. And as you extend these roots down, allow them now, visualize them now extending outward from you. It's almost like they extend now across the four corners of this planet, right? To the north, to the south, to the east, to the west. Winding, 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 winding. When you do this, your roots have the opportunity to connect to my roots. So our root systems merge together. And then my capacity to love and nurture and grow and create connects to your capacity to love and grow and nurture and create. As you're listening to this right now, I want you to remember who you are. You are a force of creation, and that isn't dependent on whether you create anything physically in this lifetime. It's just the divine birthright of your spirit. You have nothing to prove. Your very being is the proof of your divinity. And take a nice deep breath there. And as you feel those roots stretch, notice if it's connecting you to a place. All of a sudden I feel like my roots are stretching and I feel them going north and anchoring down into those ancient lands of Sumeria and Mesopotamia and Egypt. It's north and east of me. Feeling those roots extend out, branch and branch and branch and connect and branch and connect and branch and connect. And then feeling those roots descend from me, they're going south and west, which takes them to Indonesia and to that whole side of our beautiful planet. And feel how when you do that, it's almost as if your own force of creation becomes stronger, becomes synergized with all of the other roots of creation that flow across this planet. This is how I think of the mineral world, by the way, right? We think of each of our gems and minerals and crystals as being so distinct, and they are, but they all grow together under that, top layer of this beautiful planet. Some of them consciously grow together, right? Like tourmalines and kyanites and quartz grow together, and you'll find ruby in the mix of all of that too, right? Have you ever stopped to think why some crystals grow together? It's like their roots are connected, right? There's a united force of creation that connects them energetically, even though they're different. And I think of us that way too. And then also on this day, in terms of opening and allowing you to experience the energy of what we call Mother's Day in maybe a different way, we can also all find ourselves here in the sense of a unified divine feminine energy that flows within all of us, whether you identify as male or female or in between on your spectrum. All of us have the divine feminine within us, and that also is a force of creation. It animates, it brings to life, it infuses with compassion, it provides mercy and grace. It holds space for what has not yet become, but what is possible. And have you noticed, as you put your attention here on your root system and on the connection with the earth, your thought process becomes simplified. This is a great way to address anxiety and tension and fear and some of the more intense human emotions that we've all been experiencing over the past 12 to 18 months as we've gone through a global pandemic. Learning to rest in the root systems and in the arms of our collective mother, and trusting that, like I said earlier, she can heal through her presence. She can heal through her unconditional love. She can be a balm on the wounds of this year and remind you that you don't have to be anything, do anything in order to be worthy of that unconditional love. And I want you to imagine being able to pull that connection and pull that love and pull that worthiness and pull that sense of support up now from the core of the planet through those roots that you've extended. And and feel that energy come up through your root chakra, which of course is the chakra that governs, am I safe? Do I belong? Right? So for today, let's answer that question. Yes, you're safe. You belong. You're loved. You're worthy. You don't have to earn it or prove anything or be something else or do something else. In fact, nothing you can do will ever untether you from the love of this collective mother. I truly believe with my whole heart that if every person on this planet could understand this on a deep, intuitive, almost subconscious level, that we would evolve as a collective much more quickly. And what I hope you realize is this isn't anything you have to do. It's not an action you have to take. It's a decision you have to make. Do you believe this is true, and are you willing to receive? And let that love and that support and that nurturing and that you're okay, you're going to be okay, this is going to be okay, everything's going to be okay. Let that come up over and just wash that root chakra, bathe it in that sense of peace and grace. Let it come up over that sacral chakra and heal wherever you are and wherever you've come from and whatever's happened. Let it come up over and bathe that solar plexus to remind you that you can, that you will, that you're stronger than you think you are. And you're so unique and rare and beautiful. There's no one like you. There will never be anyone quite like you again. Let it come up and wash over the heart chakra, imbuing that essence of unconditional love and maybe letting it move into the little cracks and crevices in your heart where it's been broken. Filling it with illumination and allowing your heart to be held and to heal in places maybe it hasn't healed yet. Letting it come up over your throat chakra and bathing your throat chakra in such an appreciation for your authenticity, summoning you to communicate and to open and to express because you're safe to do so. And let it come up over that third eye and illuminate your visions, bringing a sense of unconditional love to what you see and what you know. And then coming up over and bathing the crown chakra as that energy of the Divine Mother now connects you to the energy of your Creator. You know, in most of the ancient civilizations, the gods, and I think of Atum Ra from the Egyptian pantheon, I think of Zeus in many ways from the Greek pantheon, and most of the major creator deities are thought of as being both male and female, right? It's the union. And as I said at the beginning, that union lives within you. And so when I'm out and about on Mother's Day, I wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. Because again, no matter who you are and where you are, you are working that divine feminine energy. You're embodying it. And you create beauty in this world that makes this world a more incredible place for all of us to be. And then you can extend that unconditional love energy out from your crown chakra and imagine it like a fountain out of your system and extend it and send it in all directions to bless everyone across this beautiful planet today. Because I promise when you send unconditional love energy out, it does come back to you. It may not come back to you in exactly the same way, but it comes back to you in a like form as a blessing. It can come back to you in the kindness of a stranger or an unexpected gift or a new door opening that you weren't expecting. Those are all little signs from the universe that all your good is coming back to you. Madre Tierra, Pachamama, Mother Earth, and to the Great Mother herself, to you as a mother, to me as a mother. We give thanks today. We express deep appreciation and gratitude for the unconditional love, that big well of open water that the maternal provides without any expectation of return. We give it selflessly. And my wish is that for you, in whatever way you mother, in whatever way you hold this beautiful divine feminine energy, that all of your blessings return to you, and that you see the completion of that cycle. Amen. Aho. And so it is. Pachamama. Thank you for sitting with me today. Take a moment today to tell the people in your life how much you love them. Maybe find some new ways to allow the love that you give to be even more unconditional, even deeper, even more compassionate. We can always take it to the next level. Very few people at the end of their life regret how much they loved. Most people at the end of their life, if they regret anything, they regret not loving more. And so this is a beautiful opportunity. This is a great day to ask yourself, where can you be in deeper service? Where can you give more? Knowing that it does all come back to you from sources seen and unseen. May you be blessed today and always, from my mother's heart to you. Amen, aho, and on we go. I'll see you soon.